So everyone, welcome to this free webinar on how to make a career in the clinical trial industry. My name is Jitendra Singh and I am the program coordinator here at International Institute of Clinical Research and Studies, or IICRS for short, you can say. So are you interested in a dynamic and growing field where you can make a real difference in people's lives? Then the clinical trial industry might be the perfect fit for you. IICRS is a leading institute dedicated to providing top-notch training for various specializations. Within the clinical trial domain, we offer comprehensive job-oriented courses in clinical research, pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, regulatory affairs, medical writing, clinical science, and many other in demand areas as per the market demand. Our curriculum is carefully crafted to align with the latest global industry requirements, ensuring you graduate with the skills and knowledge employers are actively seeking. At IICRS, we are not just about delivering exceptional education, we are committed to your success. That's why we offer dedicated placement support to all our students. We will work closely with you to help you build a strong resume on your interview skill and connect you with the potential employer in the clinical trial industry. Today's webinar will provide you with a valuable roadmap to navigate a successful career in clinical trials. We are thrilled to have a panel of senior industry experts who will share their insight, experiences, and valuable tips on how to break into this exciting field. So, whether you are a recent graduate, a seasoned professional looking for a career change, or simply curious about the clinical trial industry, you came to the right place. So, get ready to gain valuable knowledge to take the first step toward a rewarding career in the dynamic field. We'll start the presentation shortly, but before we do, please feel free to use a QA chat function below to ask any questions you might have. I'm repeating again, if you have any question, please use the QA chat function below to ask any question if you might have. Thank you. Thanks for staying online. So, starting with the presentation of clinical trial training. So, let me tell you about IICRS. IICRS is a premier institution dedicated to training graduates and professionals in clinical research and life science. We offer tailored courses for the clinical trial industry. Our curriculum meets global standard taught by industry experts. Through experiential learning, students gain practical skills and confidence. Our internship program provides real-world experience and industry connections. With e-learning option, we ensure flexibility without compromising quality. Our guaranteed placement support help you to enter the industry immediately after the course. So, join us to excel in clinical research. Next, we
Hello,
have
hello, Jitender.
hello. Yes.
Excuse me, I'm not even.
Yeah. Come again, please. Yeah. Please
Hello,
tell me.
I'm getting muted.
Request you to please ask question in chat box. Yeah. So why IICRS? At IICRS, our curriculum is meticulously crafted to align with global industry standard, ensuring that our students receive education of higher caliber. Our trainer are seasoned industry expert, providing invaluable insight and mentorship to guide the student towards success. Just wait. Yeah. Okay. So through our industry tie-ups, students have the opportunity to gain real-world experience through internship, bridging the gap between academia and industry seamlessly. Additionally, our dedicated placement cell works tirelessly to ensure that every student is equipped with, with the necessary tools and support to secure employment opportunity. their aspirations and skill set. Yeah. So next, our advantages. Our advantages are global industry curriculum, senior industry trainers, live projects, international internship, guaranteed placement support. Next, we have our courses. Okay. So our courses are clinical research, pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, clinical sales, regulatory affairs, medical writing, pharma business analytics, IPR and patents. Yeah. So IICR's program advantage. So our advantages are live online session. So live online session after interactive learning. Just allow me a second, sir, please. So I think due to some technical issue, you guys were not able to see the presentation. So I'm telling you again. Okay. So our courses are clinical research, pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, clinical sales, regulatory affairs, medical writing, pharma business analytics, and IPR and patents. Moving to the next slide, our advantages, our program advantages. So the first advantage is live online sessions. Live online sessions offer interactive learning, real-time feedback, and the convenience of accessing course material from anywhere, fostering a dynamic learning environment. Next one is 24/7 LMS. Access course material anytime, anywhere with a 24/7 learning management system, ensuring lifelong learning and flexibility in education. Next one is software training. Software training equips you with the essential skills for clinical trial jobs, enhancing efficiency, accuracy, and employability in the CRO and pharmaceutical industry. Next, we have real industry trainer. Benefit from real industry trainer, practical insights, experience, and industry specific knowledge, ensuring relevance and applicability in clinical trial careers. Next, we have is placement support, which is very important part. So receive comprehensive placement support, including guaranteed job interviews, ensuring seamless transition from education to employment in clinical trial careers. So this is the very important slide, IICRS Edge. So the very first time IICRS has launched artificial intelligence in the courses. Artificial intelligence, introducing our groundbreaking artificial intelligence training for clinical trial aspirants, ensuring industry readiness and future-proof careers in the evolving landscape of healthcare. International internship from USA. Embark on an enriching international internship experience with Train for Research based in Chicago, USA, providing unparalleled opportunity for hands-on learning and valuable industry connection in clinical research. For inquiry about any for inquiry about our exceptional training in clinical research tailored for the clinical research and life science sectors, contact us at IICRS, renowned for setting education benchmarks. Our faculty of industry expert ensures unparalleled guidance and mentorship for your success in the dynamic field. To contact us, you can contact on the given below number. Also, you can visit on our website www.iicrs.com. Also, you can email us on info@iicrs.com. Thank you for your attention. So let's dive in and explore the exciting world of clinical trial. Our webinar moderation for today is Mr. Rajesh Kumar Singh, with the extensive experience spanning multiple companies and institutions in leadership role. Mr. Singh has a wealth of knowledge to share. His passion lies in guiding and counseling student and job seeker to enter and thrive in the industry. Without further ado, I would like to extend a warm welcome for Mr. Rajesh Singh as he takes the reign of today's webinar.
Thank you, Jitendra, for having me on board. And I'd like to welcome all the people who have joined the webinar and all our panelists who have taken their time out from their busy schedules and who are here to present the topics and guide you all the people. So before we move forward, first I'd like to introduce our panelists who are there in the webinar. So Jitendra, can you just share the slide? Next person who is on the webinar, Mr. Gurudat. He is presently in IQVIA as Senior Centralized Monitor. Mr. Gurudat has more than 16 years of experience in clinical research and the pharmacovigilance and is very much expert of the domain. He owns a vast knowledge of the topics and multiple domains. And our next presenter in the webinar is Ms. Mansi Patel. She is working for last 12 years as a multiple profile, and he's expert of the pharmacovigilance and drug safety. He worked in quick companies, the pharmaceuticals in Canada. She worked in TCS, Cognizant, and Apollo hospitals also. So all our panelists have very great experience, and they will share their knowledge, their experience with all of you people. So stay tuned for the further information and the expert guidance from our panelists. So before we start further, I'd like to first introduce what is the trial industry and how you can shape a career in the trial industry. So can we have the slide, please?
Yeah. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Jitendra, for the slide.
Yep.
So today we'll briefly, very quickly, we'll discuss what is clinical trial and how the life sciences graduates can shape career, can make career in the clinical trial industry. You can also follow me on the LinkedIn that is mentioned. I'll also share the PPT with you people in the group. And so please, next slide, please. Yeah, so just a very brief introduction. What is trial? I think most of you know what is clinical trial, but I'll just explain it again. Trial is a research study that tests new medical approaches in people. It can be a medication, device, or surgeries, or even the diet plans. The goal is to see these interventions are safe or effective for the human beings or not. So basically, it is tested for the efficacy and the adverse reactions of the drug. And the people volunteer to participate in these trials, and the researchers closely monitor their health throughout the process. And the clinical trials are essential for developing new treatments and improving healthcare of the humanity or the humans. Yeah, next slide, please. Now, this is a very brief history of the clinical trial. I'll not go through the details because these are the years where we have the development. The next slide, please. Yeah, now it's very important. It's very important to understand for the people who are fresher or who are willing to join the industry, because there are a lot of questions in the mind that whether this is the right industry or not. So we'll have a look of the industry and the growth of the industry. So as you can see, the present market size of estimated market value of the clinical trial industry is more than $80 million in 2023, and which is growing by up to 8% annually. And we can expect something 8% growth per year till 2030 or 2028. Fine. And the major reason for growth of the industry is first the rising chronic disease. You see everywhere the diseases are evolving, or they are adapting, or they are becoming immune to the older drugs. So every time a new drug development is required. And also the pharmaceutical companies are investing a lot of money for the trial. So trial is always will be growing by the year goes until the humanity is there. So we cannot expect that the trial will be over or anytime it will be stopped. And now, like COVID-19 pandemic, it also fueled the market expansion, because in COVID we learned that we are not prepared to fight the disease or fight the new disease. So it shown that we were not prepared to face that pandemic. So the industry, in the entire global industry, has focused on the more and more clinical trials. So the more and more trial will be there, the more and people will be recorded in the trial. And with the focus on the areas like virtual trials and improved patients recruitment, the clinical trial market is expected to continue its upward trajectory. Yeah. So next slide, please. Now, it's very important to understand the Indian perspective, because we are sitting here in India and we are looking for a job in India. So it's important to understand whether the trial is having a good market in India or not. So as we can see, presently, we are sitting at $2.25 billion market size in 2023, which is expected to become $5 billion by 2033. So next 7, 8 years, 9 years, you can see that the industry is going to be doubled. So if the industry size is going to be doubled, obviously the requirement of the people to work on the process will be also be get doubled. So the reason behind the Indian market, first, the large patient pool that we have, cost-effective and skilled medical workforce that we have. So the entire global industry, the trial industry, is focusing the Indian market to conduct their trials. So India will be always a preferred ground for the clinical trial in the coming future. And also the government efforts to streamline regulations are making India more attractive for the trials. So you can be rest assured that India will have a lot of vacancies for the trial people in the coming future. Next slide, please. Yeah, now it's like we want to understand who are the stakeholders and what are the process of the trial. So like there is one body which is the sponsor. This may be the pharmaceutical company or the research organizations who fund the trial. And then the CRO are the contract research organizations. They are the organization who handles all the process, whether it's clinical research, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, regulatory submission, most of the time the medical writing also, and the SAS, clinical SAS, the data analytics is done by the CRO and the contract research organizations. And then there are like one investigator who are the medical professionals, the physicians who monitors the trial, who takes the inputs from the patients and then they forward it to the further analysis. So then there's a regulatory authority. It's a government body, like in USA, it's FDA, Europe, EMA, India, it's CDSCO. They control the drug and they don't control the approval of the drug. So they monitor whether the proper guidelines is followed. And on the report, they grant permission for marketing of the drug. Now there is an ethics committee. This is an independent group of people who monitors the trial, whether the proper ethics has been followed or not. And there is the data monitoring. The role of data monitoring committee in the clinical trial is to independently review and analyze the interim data to ensure a participant safety, data integrity, and the study validity. So these are the basic stakeholders. There are multiple stakeholders, but to name a few, just I have pointed here. Next slide, please. Now, to understand for the people who want to enter, make career in the trial, to understand what are the departments and what are the job roles in the contract research organizations, CROs. So if you talk about the clinical operations, it starts from the clinical trial assistant at the entry level, which grows to the clinical research associate or the clinical trial coordinator. It's a mid-level job. And then the clinical project managers is a senior level, experience level job roles. Similarly, for the site management, is the site management associate, site manager is a mid-level, and the senior site manager or the director is the experience. And in the data management, it's a data entry clerk or the data management assistant at the entry level. You can expect similar job roles in the industry. And the data coordinator or the clinical data manager, the same goes to the statistical programmer, biostatisticians. And in the safety and the pharmacovigilance, drug safety associate, pharmacovigilance scientist, pharmacovigilance manager, or the director. So it is like there are multiple job roles. The nomenclature may vary, but just for example, just to showcase you, just I have named a few positions. And the next slide, please. Now, similarly, in the regulatory, it have various job roles, and the medical affairs also, QA, QC, and the project management. Various job roles at the various level are there. As I told you, the nomenclature may vary from company to company or from country to country, but overall the process remains the same because it's a global industry. So the same format is followed everywhere on the globe. Next slide, please. Now, it's very important to understand what is the eligibility. If you are a fresher and trying to enter into the domain, Like for the clinical operations, site management, medical affairs, QA/QC, data management, regulatory affairs, and the project management. If you are a graduate from life sciences, either you're from DE, M.Pharm, B.Pharm, MBBS, BDS, BMS, which is anybody from life sciences, MSc, BSc, they are eligible for all the job roles, the entry-level job roles, or even the experience job roles in these departments. For safety and drug safety and pharmacovigilance, it's a point to remember, like most of the company prefers candidates from pharmacology background. There are some companies who hire also the BSc, MSc, maybe, but generally the company prefers candidates from the pharmacology background, like PharmD, B.Pharm, M.Pharm, MBBS, BDS, VMS, VHMS, and nursing. So while selecting your career, if you are looking for a career in pharmacovigilance, try to assess yourself. If you are from pharmacology background, then only try for this. Otherwise, there might be possibility that you get a job, but on the higher level, in the escalation of the career, you might face some challenges. So it's not thumb rule, but again, the industry follow these norms. Yeah. So next slide, please. Now, basically, I'd like to understand what are the key skills required. This is a very, very important topic. I found a lot of candidates. I met a lot of candidates who are just applying for a job, and they apply for every job which is coming for either for the clinical research or the clinical data management or the pharmacovigilance or any job role blindly because they feel they are graduate, they have passed their graduation, they have knowledge of the basics of the clinical trial process. But it's very important. It's a very regulated industry, and for if you talk about any industry, they don't want to take people who don't have the knowledge of their process. So these are the basic entry-level skills. Like for the clinical operations, you should be familiar with the EDC, electronic data capture system, basic knowledge of the MS Office and regulatory guidelines, regulations, knowledge of trial management software, because end of the day, you are going to work on software. The company don't want to invest time and money on you to get trained because India has a big pool of trained people. So always before applying your CV for the jobs, try to acquire these knowledge, because otherwise what will happen, your CV will get rejected and will not be considered even, and you will get into the frustration. So these are the basic skills. I'll share my PPT also with all the people. For that, you join the group that is being shared in the chat box. Now, similarly for the data management, it is like the EDC knowledge there, Excel data management software knowledge is there. Similarly for the drug safety pharmacovigilance, it's like drug safety database like Argus and other softwares. The coding dictionary knowledge, the MEDRA, WHO directory, drug dictionary is required. And adverse event reporting system, you also be familiar with what is the adverse event reporting systems. Next slide, please. Yeah, similarly for the other job roles, like for the regulatory also, medical affairs, QA, QC also, specific requirement, knowledge is required. It's very much important. Specific knowledge is required. And I'll come to the part later, why your CV get rejected and why you are not getting calls from the companies. Next slide, please. Yeah, so these are the basic additional skills required before applying for any job. Keep all these skills with you, acquire all these skills with you, so that you can be eligible for the job roles. Like you should be having a good attention to the details, how to analyze the data, documents, how to read the documents. Organizational skills is very much required because you are going to work in corporate settings. Most important, communication skills. And above all, I've faced a lot of candidates with vernacular, like they are speaking in local language or Hindi, and they are not confident in English. But I like to let you know that this is a global industry, and the global language, the language of communication is English. So you must be having a good English communication. And if you are not good at English, try to learn it. Try to learn it, because without that, you will always face a challenge, not only getting job, but also working inside the organization. And critical thinking is important. Teamwork is also very much important, because you need to understand how to work inside a team with a team. Yeah. So next slide, please. Yeah, so this was about the career options in the trial. One thing I want to let you know why most of the time I face a lot of people not getting the interview calls from the company. What happens? You feel that you are amongst the few people who have applied for the job roles. Your CV, if it is not matching with the current requirement, because single job post gets at least 5 to 10,000 applications for any job role, whether it's a clinical research, data management, or pharmacovigilance or regulatory. So, do you feel that the HR in the company has so much time that it will go through all the 5,000, 10,000 CV? It will not happen. It is all the system, maybe the software or the CV selection system that is working inside the organization. And if your CV is not matching up with their requirement, they will not consider your CV and it will get rejected automatically. Even the HR will not come to know about your CV. And the second thing, don't abruptly apply to all the job roles, because there are policies in company, like once your CV is rejected or not selected, is a proper word, not selected in the company, they will buy you for next 90 days to 180 days. Depends on companies, varies from company to company. So if you are applying for multiple job roles on the same company, there is a higher probability that you will never get a call from them. So don't do it abruptly. Uh, have proper guidance from the experts. Get your CV prepared by the experts. First, acquire the knowledge, acquire the skills which is required for the job roles. Then get your CV designed properly, and then apply with the proper formats and the proper channel. So in future, try to keep all these in your mind while applying for a job. Don't blindly apply for the job roles which is coming on the Naukri or any other websites. So it was the basic information that I tried to convey with you. And we'll have a discussion at a later stage in this webinar. And you can put your questions in the chat box. We'll take the questions because there are a lot of people, so it's not possible to have everybody on the mic. So next slide, please. So thank you so much for listening to me. And we'll move forward with the presentation of our expert faculties, and we'll take certainly we'll take the question answer at the end towards the end of the program webinar in Q&A session. Now I'd like to invite Gurudat ji, who is a veteran in the clinical research, and I'd like to Gurudat ji to show some light on what is the clinical research industry and how the students can make a career in the clinical trial industry. So it's over to you, Gurudat ji.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sure. You're audible. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being present in the webinar.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Rajesh ji and Nirav ji for your great presentation, and what the main points that I want to cover, that already you have covered everything. I don't think I have much more to present to everyone, but this is a great thing that you have take this initiation to. First, we have to arrange this webinar. We have to get introduced with all these activities and how this clinical industry is growing, what is the history of the clinical industry, and the way we are going step by step forwarding to the development. And this is a great opportunity for those who are very at the early age of this their graduation, or they have just completed their graduation and they want to enter in this particular industry and they want to make their lifelong career in this industry. So there is a great opportunity for you, because you are very lucky that you are at this age when everything is now stabilizing very properly. So I will just tell you that clinical research is not just like a professional world that you are thinking that you are entering and you are doing the job 9 to 6 and then you are completing your task and you are going to your home. Not like that one. It's a in word, everything is there. It's a clinical and research. Two parts are there. So it's the part of the pharmacy, it's part of the medical science, and at the same time, it is a main concern is the research. So those who have the passion to work in the research, and those who want to involve themselves in that particular activity, then you can enjoy this particular industry and you can grow also in the high level as per your capacity, as per your own interest.
And at the same time, not only in the national level or in India, but outside also India, you have a great opportunity. In the slides that shared by the Rajeshji and Dhiravji, you have already know that what is the current GDP and what is the overall growth of this particular industry. So 80 billion is the overall growth at present as per the current this growth rate. And out of that 80 billion dollar, you can see India is still only 3%, only 3%. It means 97% of this industry is outside the India. And the growth and development wise, India is now in the initial stage that now we are taking the takeoff in this particular industry. Because in 2019, we got the new laws in the clinical research by the government of India, and that law are very perfectly as per the requirement, as per the future point of view, as per the current international norms. So it's a great opportunity to everyone, those who want to join this particular industry, that now you have a proper base to take off from this particular runway. So in the future point of view, that is also very important, that what exactly this particular industry, how you want to enter in this particular industry, and what exactly the skill and the capabilities that is required for this particular domain as per the different domain in the clinical research. So first of all, those who are totally fresh for this particular industry or clinical research, I just want to clarify you what is exactly this thing in a very short term manner. So what is the clinical research? It's the organized research on human beings. The human being is very important word, because everything is going on the human body, and all the way whatever the developments are going on, it will be analyzed, it will be discussed, and it will be going to the next level as per the development by the in that particular body. So organized research on the human being intended to provide adequate information on the drug use as therapeutic agent, on its safety and efficacy. The main concern is the safety and efficacy. Our main motto is that our main what we say, the target is the safety and the efficacy in this particular research. So whenever we are doing particular activity or we are doing particular task, we are focusing only these two parts, that what is the safety point of view, if there are any what we say signals are there, if anything is going out of safety or it is a dangerous, then we will take the strict action on that particular thing. And at the same time, we don't want to waste our time and money on the non-effective drug or any agent. We want something good which will be better than the present and which will be best for the future point of view. So for example, if any drug is there which is available in the market, which is giving the result within the 20 days or 30 days, whatever it is, and if we are introducing the new molecule and that molecule is giving the result within 10 days or 15 days, then this is the effective molecule. And that is the main focus point during this particular research. So these are the important points that every time whenever you are when you are going for the sessions, always remember our main motto and our main target is regarding the safety and efficacy point of view. We are doing the research in this particular industry. Next. So what is the purpose? What is the procedure? What is exactly the clinical research is not just limited for the clinical trial for the medical, that is the therapeutic drugs or the pharmaceutical drugs only, allopathic drugs only. It is a part of the drug discovery. It is a formulation development also. In formulation development also, we are going to change some formula as per the overall results, as per the overall new development, or as per the new particular, what we say, the options that we want to discover in this particular industry. Same time, clinical trials are going on. There are different type of trials are going on. For especially if you see currently we are just out from the COVID, but still COVID is as it is in our nature. And currently industry is focusing on the COVID point of view, what is the future effect on the human body and the next generation also. So now they are focusing on that way also. So this way, the research are going on in different angles with different point of view, with different effects of the drugs and whatever the upcoming challenges that we will face in this particular in this world. Then commercialization. So anything like a commercial point of view, they want to change some formula or they want to change the drug formula in that particular activity, they can go for the clinical trial. So in this way, research and this particular trial activities are applicable to everything, medical device and what we say, cosmetics. Now in the food industry is also part of the clinical research. You can see all the food products are first going through this particular trial, and then they come to the market. So they have the FSCCI number is there. So that is actually the part of the trial. And once they complete the trial, then that particular product is available in the market. Next. Yeah. So why we need the clinical trial? So it's a great thing that when we are doing some particular activity, always remember you have to be checked with yourself with 5W and 1H. It is a common, what to say, common logic in every clinical research. Why 5W means what, why, when, where, and how. H is stand for the how. So when we are going for the clinical trial, why we need the clinical trial? So for example, if without the trial, if you are used particular thing, it may be possible that will be useful, or it may be possible that it will be dangerous. So if it will be dangerous, then it will be very difficult. It will be wasting of time or wasting of energy.
Gölgede band. Diğer band. Adayı basmayın.
Sorry, sir. Actually, you have to unmute yourself. There are some issue. Guruji, just unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. So it is unmuted by
Yes. Audible.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know.
No.
Okay. So why do we need the clinical trial? For example, when you are going to the mall, you are purchasing a particular jeans or particular top. There is a trial room is there. Why this trial room is there? You want to wear that particular product and you want to test it is good or not, or it is suitable for your body or your posture or not. So in that way, you are going, you are wearing that particular cloth and you are coming out, and then you are asking your friends or relatives or your family members, is it good? Then they will say and they will judge that okay, it is not, it is good, it is as per your size and as per your requirement, or the color is very suitable to you, whatever it is. So that is like a trial. So when that in that particular mall, the trial is room is especially available to check that particular cloth. So same way in clinical trial, clinical research also, trials are done to check the efficacy and safety of the particular product. If that particular product is safe and effective, then it will be good for the human society. Otherwise, it will be dangerous. So because our human society is a bigger, consists of the large number of populations of different ages, different type of genetics and everything. So better way we have to focus on the clinical trial. So the assessment will be done on the new drug use of existing drugs. Sometimes drug existence is also changed as per the trial. Then the medical devices point of view, we have the trials. Then the new drug delivery systems will be confirmed by as per the clinical trials, and the new surgical procedures also confirmed by as per the trials and their results. So that's why clinical trial is a mandatory for every allopathic and other drugs also. Those who want to enter in the market, those who want to go to the human use. So without clinical trials and without their proper results, especially regarding the safety and efficacy point of view, they can't be available in the pharmacy shop. So that is a mandatory part as per the regulation of the government. Next. So because drug is the only product which will come to our body after apart from the food. So as a human being, we regularly take the regular food as per our interest, and at the same time, drug is also one part that one element that is entering our body, and it is doing some chemical activities and some biological activity within our body, and after that we are getting some results. So better way, instead of checking that particular drug directly on the human body, first we have to check with the preclinical study like a animal study and in vitro like a laboratory study also. So as a part of this particular discovery, first stage is like this one, that is a preclinical studies, especially to check the efficacy of that drug. We have to first go to the laboratory and we have to check the efficacy, that it is safe or not. The main concern is regarding the safety point of view. So there are efficacy studies, in vitro access, with vivo access is also there. So those who are from biotechnology, they know very well what are this type of activities are there, because they are regularly conducting this particular activity in their laboratory. After that, there is the animal study to check what is exactly the effect of that particular molecule on that particular animal, so that we can check the efficacy of that particular drug. So in that particular also, we have different animal study like a rat study. We have the cat, dog, horse, and monkey is the last one is there. So after clearing this particular laboratory and the animal study, then that drug will enter in the human body for the trial point of view. And after a trial, then they will come to the market. So that is the stages of that particular development. Next. So once they complete their preclinical study, they have to enter for the human study. And again, in human study also, there are 4 phases are there. And these phases have different quantity and locations wise also they will change as per the phases. So I don't want to go into the deep, but just for the just for the basic point of view, phase 1 study is like just to check the safety. Here only we are checking on the healthy volunteers. Those persons which are having normal life, they are very healthy. They are part of this particular phase. After that, phase 2 to phase 4, we have a particular patient for that particular drug as per the indication, whatever the indication is there. And we are checking the overall effect of that particular drug in that particular patient. And at the same time, we are checking the safety point of view, whatever the developments are there. So phase 2 study also single centric like a phase 1 study, but phase 3 study is a multi-centric study. Why we require the multi-centric study? Because the molecule may be the same, but geographical and climatic and genetical conditions are different all over the world. So some drugs are available in the market, which is you can easily purchase in the US, but at the same time, these drugs are not applicable in the India. But some drugs are available in India, but they are not. You can't purchase in the US because of this climatic genetical condition. So because of this also, we required multi-centric trials so that we can check the overall results, we can check the overall efficacy of that particular molecule, and then we can confirm how to use that molecule in region-wise and particular genetical condition-wise also. So phase 4 study is like a post-marketing. Though they are passing all the clinical trials, again for the next 5 years, that drug is under the surveillance. Surveillance means they want to check once they enter in the market, how that particular drug will be survive in that particular market. If they are getting some negative results or dangerous results in that particular way, they can ban that particular molecule at that early stage in the market, and then molecule will be removed from the market. So these type of phases are mandatory for every molecule once to get in the clear market and to get the patent of that particular molecule. So overall development of this particular molecule, you can see the time period is almost 12 to 16 years at present. Previously it was more than 20 years, but now it is 12 to 16 years. So those molecules which is today, for example, in 2024, if any new molecule is available in the market or enter in the market, so that molecule may be possible that may be discovered in 2005 or 7 or 8, or may be possible. So after going through the preclinical study, animal study, laboratory study, and these 4 phases of this clinical trial, then that molecule will enter in the market. So you can imagine what a tough filters are there. Because of this tough filter, this drug efficacy and safety, everything is perfect. And you can blindly purchase that particular molecule from the pharmacy shop and you can use it. And that is because of the clinical industry. And all 15, 16, 18 departments are there. They are totally focusing on this development. They are checking all the parameters as per the ICH-GCP point of view. And after that, they are clearing that particular molecule for the market. So because of the all teamwork, their efforts, their dedications, that molecule will enter the market, and that molecule will give the very good positive result for the patient's point of view. And that's why clinical industry is a very important industry for the human society point of view and safety point of view. Next. So who conduct the clinical trials? Generally, the principal investigator, PI, is the main concern in this particular industry. A PI is a doctor of that particular hospital. He is a main player. We can say he is the main captain of this particular development. his contribution is like that. He is monitoring of everything, and as per the overall results, whatever his opinions are there, on the basis of that particular opinion, all the medical research activity will be done. So PI and post PI, that is a sub PI, we can in the industry we call as a sub PI. They are the main player in this particular activity. Next. So as we discussed, healthy volunteer and patient, that is our main target to check the safety and efficacy of this particular drug. Next. So historical point of view, clinical research is not like that. It is suddenly developed in 19th century and now it is available to us. And now we are using this particular trial activity and the research activity for the medical point of view. It is a very, it has a very long history. It is more than, we can say, 2,000, 3,000 years. But just for the introduction point of view, when especially in the 19th century.
I just interrupt. Akshay, please switch off your microphone. There's some disturbance from your side. Akshay Jadhav. Yes, sir. Please carry on.
So overall, historical point of view, many medical science books and previously noted guidance also noted that we have done many type of trials before also. We have done research in this particular industry and we have, sorry, for the medical agents, and then that particular drugs are used by the people. But there are some tragedies, some great tragedies that was happen, especially in the Europe and America. And because of that, this industry was born. Without that tragedy, I don't think this industry will be available today. So we are lucky that we are in India. We are not suffer like that, like whatever the Europe and America has suffered during the 19th century. But they have taken some good initiative step to for the safety point of view, for the future point of view. And because of that, we are today, this industry is having very good pillars, like the 14 ICGCP principal pillars are there. On that pillars, this industry is very strongly growing, very systematically growing. And at the same time, in future point of view, we have very good development also. So these are some developments that is historically happened. So we will discuss step by step. Next. So China and India, as you know, these are the we have very old human civilization history. So historical point of view, China has already started so many medical, let's say, plant-related activities to check the efficacy of that particular plant on the human body. And this is the one of the person, I think, is the emperor of Shan Yuan. He has tested all the this particular plant on his body also, and because of that, he has found out which is a poison and which is a good, which is a non-poison plants are there. And he also died because of this particular poisonous plant, because he eat that particular plant during that time. So it is a very old noted history as per the Chinese point of view. Next. Yeah. As the Indians, we know that Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, we have very oldest medical science, that is Ayurveda in our land. And these Ayurveda and their books are already have very tremendous knowledge as per the nature point of view, as per the human society point of view. And they have noted in this books whatever the efficacy of that particular plant, how to use that particular plant, and even surgical point of view also they have mentioned very good information. So Sushruta Samhita is one of that particular books, which is also considered as a very important and very old medical science book in this domain. Next. Yeah, King Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar. He is actually the king of the Persia, especially currently part of this. If you see, this is also before Christopher of 600. So that time also he has also written one book on the dental point of view, and he has tested some different what to say diets for the different people. And after that, he has confirmed that some bread and water, and along with some meat and this one. Yeah. And- yeah, so meat and other animals he also tested, and he noted that instead of going for the non-veg, veg is also very good for the health point of view. And that time he also written this, noted that particular information in the book that is called as the Book of Daniel. And in that, this book is also noted in the Bible that this is the information, and that time also this information is important. So as per the medical science point of view, this information is also considered as a part of the trial. So these are just the historical points that we need to understand. Next. Yeah, James Lind is considered as a father of this particular clinical industry because he started the survey activity. So instead of going directly to the research, first we have to do the survey. That time survey he has done for the scurvy, that is the problem of the British Navy. And once they got the details that these are the problems that generally facing by the British Navy, so he has taken some initial activities that like he has noted 12 patients of that particular scurvy point of view, and he has given the different diet to them, like vinegar, dilute sulfuric acid, cedar, sea water, along with the lemon and the oranges also. And he found that the lemon and orange is a very good those who are suffering with the scurvy like a problem. And that scurvy is now even in present day also, those who are suffer with the scurvy, they will generally lemon and orange is a very good option to them as a diet point of view, and that will increase their vitamin C capacity. So that time he has done this type of trial, this type of research, and noted all the information. Next. Yeah.
Next slide, please.
Yeah. So here he has clearly mentioned that lime and orange is a very good option for those who are suffer with the scurvy. And if you keep in the proper in your regular diet, you will not face this type of problem in your regular activity. So especially those who are working in the Navy in that time in British Army, they have introduced this lime soda and this orange juice that time. And now you can see wherever you can go, they will offer you the lime soda and the orange juice. So because that time it was confirmed that this is a very good source of the vitamin C. So now it is a regular practice, healthy practice in all the society. So this is also one of the trial results that we are currently using. Next. Yeah. So historical point of view, we have some big tragedies also, especially in the Europe and US. So one of them is the sulfonamide tragedy. So this is also one type of drug that is used by the safely treatment. And that time, because of that particular drug, there are some we can see tragedies was happened. So many people are died because of this particular drug. So that time it was first time in government point of view, they will get awareness that we have to take some initiative for the safety point of view, because previously there is no regulatory, no checking, nothing is there. Those who are manufacturing, they are directly using in the market, and they are people also directly blindly purchasing that particular drug and using that one. But because of this particular tragedy, when there is a big massacre was happen and because of that particular drug, so they have decided to take some initial stage active precaution point of view on some safety measures so that we can reduce this particular tragedy. So sulfonamide tragedy is also noted in the US. Next. Yeah. So 105 patients who consumed this sulfonamide, that time they died because of this. And after that, US Congress has passed one bill, that is a Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act. And in India also we are using this particular act up to the 2014. as a part of the safety point of view. And on that basis of this particular act, it was concerned that which required proof of safety before releasing the new drug. So previously there is no such proof asked by any government. Anyone who are manufacturing, they can go for the selling also. But now that time, because of this act, they ask you have to show the proof how your drug is safe for the human body or human society, and then you can enter in the market. So the 1938 law changed the drug focus of the Food and Drug Administrative by the FDA. Next. Yeah. And this is a very famous thalidomide tragedy in the UK. In the European region. So thalidomide, actually, this was a tragedy because here drug is not a problem, but patient along with the prescribing timing and that particular condition, the pregnancy condition, that is the main concern. But at that time, this tragedy was noted. So thalidomide is a drug which is given for the morning sickness, and it is a regular practice, not for that particular period, but it is a very old practice, and regularly people are using this thalidomide. But in UK, in the Europe, these drugs are given to the pregnant woman. So because of the pregnancy, they are getting some morning sickness. To avoid that particular sickness, they have used this particular drug. But because of that drug, when they are entering in the body, at the same time, because they are pregnant, that drug is consumed by their baby also. And there is a big problem is that when the baby was born, they have very large number of birth defects. So at present also we have almost we can see 50 to 60,000 patients we have. That time it is noted that 50 to 60,000 patients who has a birth defect. It means like their hands are not properly developed, their organs are not properly developed. Some are having the mental disorder also. And at present also these people are there. Their age is also almost you can see 60 to 70 years to 75 years are there. And because of this thalidomide, now they have considered that when you are prescribing this particular drug, that drug must be applicable, must be confirmed that it is good for which patient and at which stage. Especially because of the pregnancy time, we don't want to give any drug to that pregnant woman, so it will not get affect to that particular woman also and their baby also. Next. So next is a Nazi. The Second World War. That time Nazis on the very aggressive mode. They want to destroy all the world and they want to rule the world. So that time they have done so many chemical. They have developed so many chemical and biological weapons, and without any consent or any information, they have checked on the prisoners. That time they have some prisoners, so they have used that particular prisoners, and they have killed so many prisoners, almost in the lakhs, to check the effectiveness of that particular biological and chemical. Human point of view, as a ethical point of view, it is not good. It is actually the big crime, and that's why Nazi, whatever they have done after that Second World War, when everything is going to get clear, settled, that time they have taken the strict action against these particular physicians along with their army generals also. And that after that, this Nuremberg Code, that is introduced in this particular development. Next. 1947, that is the Nuremberg Code. And here we have noted that, yes, trial is important, subjects are also important, but we required voluntary consent from that particular patient. So the patients, if they are giving the voluntary consent, then only we are accepting as a part of that particular trial. We are not forcing to anyone to join this particular trial or be the part of that particular.
Sir, your mic is off. Actually, there is some disturbance from other candidates. So just please switch on your microphone. I'd like to request all of you to please keep your microphone switched off while sir is speaking. Please switch off your microphone, Ravi Shankar and everybody else.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no issue. So, guys, why we are discussing this point, because these are the historical developments that was happened in 19th century, And after that, government has taken some good initiative, some good steps for the safety and efficacy point of view. And because of that, ICH GCP was born. And because of the ICH GCP, now current clinical industry is at particular stage that we are working very smoothly. Next. Yeah. To see Simfil study also, that is one of the big tragedy in the US. That time, this study was conducted on the black man, like black Americans, and without any information, without any proper medical support, they have introduced that particular Simfil to that particular black man, and they also died because of this particular study. So this type of tragedies was noted in the medical history, and these are considered as unethical as well as the dangerous for the human society point of view. So that's why they have taken the strict action, strict laws to avoid this particular point of activity, and this particular safety point of view. They want to make the secure for every human society, not just particular higher level or middle level, but at the lower level also they want to give the safety support, so that at least this whatever the development will be done will be suitable, which will be helpful to all the human society, and no one will get get affected because of this particular development. So we want a good result, but at the same time we want a good result with the contribution of the society only, and for that we required a proper principles as per the point of view, and that was done because of the ICH GCP. Next. Yeah. So when this type of tragedies was happen, at that time Belmont is a place in the US where they have declared one declaration was done that we have to make some principles, so that at least based on that particular principle we can make the next development, how we have to conduct the clinical trial, and that trial will be mainly focused on the safety and efficacy point of view, and they will give the proper exact result of that particular molecule. So Belmont report is a 1978 report created by the National Commission for the Protection of Human Subjects of Biological and Behavioral Research. Its full title is the Belmont Report, Ethical Principles and Guidelines for the Protection of the Human Subject of the Research Report of the National Commission for the Protection of the Human Subject of Biomedical and Behavioral Research. So I don't want to waste, I don't want to go to deeply in this particular, but just for the introduction information point of view, that based on this result we have introduced three principles. That is the respect for everyone, that those who are participating in this particular trial. Second, justice for everyone. We have to give the proper justice. If anyone gets suffer because of that particular trial, we have to give the proper protection as per the trial. And next, we have to give the proper medical support for that particular activity. So in this way, we are, as a part of the team, subject is also part of that particular team of development. So we have to protect them, we have to justify them, and at the same time we have to keep them in the trial up to the end of the trial, and we have to check whatever the overall development of that particular molecule. So these are the main developmental stages of this particular clinical trial. Next. Yeah. So you can see, when there was a tragedy, every time when there was a tragedy, that time some new development was happen. It means the problem has given some solution, and because of that solution we got a future direction also. So this type of problems is though they are a tragedy, they are a very sad thing at the historical point of view also, but at the same time we got some new clues, new direction for the future point of view also. And as per that development, we are currently got ICH GCP, that is the International Conference on Harmonization, and that is the ultimate, the body of this particular clinical trial. Based on that ICH GCP principle, we have the current clinical research industry. Next. Yeah. So ICH GCP has developed the group clinical practice GCP, Independent Ethics Committee IEC is there, Institutional Review Board IRB is there, Informed Consent documents or ICDs are also there. So documentation point of view, trial design point of view, planning point of view, development point of view, everything they have given proper guidelines in that particular book for the development of the clinical trial. So those who want to join the clinical industry or clinical trials or clinical research, everything, I just want to tell you that ICH GCP principle is a Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Bible for you. Without ICH GCP and knowledge of that particular principles, you can't survive in this particular industry. So always remember, first you have to be familiar. You have a strong, if you want a strong base on this particular industry, you have to be firm with all these principles, and you have to go through all the principles step by step and understand it properly. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to survive in this particular industry. Okay, next. Yeah, so good clinical practice. It is a part of the GXP actually. GXX is a we can change anytime, but here it is a GCP, that is a good clinical practice. So to the particular trial must be completed as per the requirement, as per the timeline. We required some good planning, good development, good teamwork, and at the same time we have to conduct it as per the requirement. So design, conduct, monitoring, termination, and analysis and documentation, everything, how to complete it, it is mentioned in this GCP. So every particular trial, when they are designing this particular trial, they always follow the GCP. So those who want to understand the GCP, they have to understand it as per the ICH GCP principle point of view. So how to design the trial, how to conduct the trial, and how to monitor the trial, and how to close this particular activity. Everything they have mentioned in this particular GCP format. Next. Informed consent form. So when anyone is participating in this particular trial, they have to sign the informed consent form. So informed consent form, it means it's a form, it is a voluntary form. Those who want to join this particular trial, they have to sign it, so that they want to confirm that I am voluntarily contributing in this particular trial. I am not forcefully participating in this trial, or I am not get some financial benefit from this particular trial. But for the human society point of view, for the future point of view, for the health related issue point of view, I want to contribute something for this particular society, and that's why I am contributing in this particular industry. And that is the concern, that is the main purpose of this particular form, that those who are participating in this form, they are not forcefully entering in this particular trial, but they are participating as per their own interest. And once they sign this particular form, they can be considered as a part of this particular trial if they are passing the screen test in this particular test, in this particular trial. Next. Monitoring. So monitoring is a very important part in the clinical research. So for example, when particular activity is going on, so players are playing on the ground, but at the same time, when the manager and coach is monitoring this particular activity from the dressing room, they can understand what is the current situation, at which stage we have to take which type of decision, so that at least we will get some success for that particular game. So for that purpose, proper monitoring is very important in clinical trial. So ensuring the progress of the clinical trial in accordance with the protocol, GCP, SOPs, and the regulatory requirements. Proper monitoring is a mandatory in that particular clinical trial. Next. Yeah. So quality control and quality assurance, as you know that without quality, nothing will be there. If there is a quality, then only we can survive in this particular industry. So those who are doing particular trial, they have to show, they have to confirm that what are the quality control norms they have followed, and at the same time, they have to prove their quality as per the quality assurance development. So internal checks for improving the quality of all the trial progress to avoid the unnecessary risk of the patient. So because of this particular QA and QC, sometimes if we are wasting our time or we are going on the wrong direction, it will be save us from that particular danger, and at the same time it will put us in the proper direction so that we can achieve good results in the future point of view. So for that purpose, QA and QC department is a main backbone of this particular industry. Next. audit. Audit is like internal audit, external audit. Both type of audits are there. When the trials are going on, a company has taken their own internal audits also to check the quality, to check the overall development of that particular trial. And at the same time, external audit will be done by the regulatory authority, by the government authority. If they know, if they find that something is going wrong, or sometimes they want to check the any any surprise visits may be happen in that particular industry, just to check how this particular activity is going on. So audit is a systematic and independent examination of the trial related document and activities as per the guidelines. So it is a part of the clinical trial. Next. Yeah. Pharmacovigilance. So this is a it's a pharma police. You can see vigilance is a word from the Spanish Spanish word, but it's a vigilance is a, it means a police. It is a safety point of view. So when particular activity is going on in everything is there, if there is some thieves are there, thieves means like not regular thieves that you are we are getting the news from the news channels, like a adverse event. For example, your companies are conducting any trial, and in that particular trial there are some subjects related to respiratory disorders, and in that particular trial it is noted that these patients are suffering with some kidney diseases. So in that way, pharmacovigilance team will focus why this type of disease happen with in this particular patient. Then they will check their number of patients, number of events. As per that, they will check where this is the location where there is a number of patients are very high. So is it because of your drug, or it may be because of some other conditions also. So every time if any particular patient is suffer from the other adverse event, it is not like that. It is always because of the drug. It may be other conditions also. So here pharmacovigilance department play a very important role. What they will do the analysis of that particular adverse event, not a molecule or not the patient, but the adverse event which is happening regularly at a frequent level, and then they will analyze who is responsible for that particular adverse event, our drug or any other conditions. And if our drug is responsible, what is exactly the reason, what is exactly the concern of that particular drug because of that for that particular adverse event. So if drug is responsible, then they will take some actions on that particular drug, or they may be change their protocol as per the adverse event also. If the drug is not responsible, then they will check what are the other factors are there that is responsible for that particular adverse event. And as per that, they will take the action. So PV is like a pharmacopolice in this particular industry. Next. Yeah, pharmacoepidemiology. So it's a collection of efficacy and safety data of the drug after being prescribed to a large number of patients. It is the analysis of that particular data as per the efficacy and safety point of view. It is one of the domain in this particular industry. Next. Yeah, outsourcing. Nowadays, everything is going to outsourcing. Now, CROs are playing very important role. Out of we can say 100%, almost 80% trials are conducted by the CROs, and CROs are doing all the activities from phase 1 to phase 4 level, and at the same time they are also important part of this particular development. So outsourcing now, you can see, as we know that $80 billion industry is there, but more than 50% of this revenue is coming from the North America. So rest 50% are coming from the other countries, especially India, China, even Australia, New Zealand also are important player in this particular industry. Next. SOP. So standard operating procedures, as you know, without SOP, nothing will be there. So if you want to travel or if you want to start your activity, first you have to put your SOP to the regulatory authority. You have to get their signature that this is correct as per the requirement, and then you can start this particular activity. So SOP is a standard operating procedure, written instruction to achieve the uniformity of the process and performance for universal acceptance. So that is a mandatory for every activity. Next. Medical writing. It is also one of the important domain in the clinical research, and those who want to achieve big goals in the career point of view, they want to achieve big goals. This is a very good option for the medical writing, and for that purpose, two things are very important. Your medical knowledge also must be important. At the same time, you must be fluent in English. Your written and your speaking and your understanding level, it must be higher that in English, because everything is very they require very high level of what we say understanding, and at the same time whatever the written thing is done, that is also checked by the everything every level, that how you are written, that every information, it must be easy, but at the same time you have to choose the proper word to explain that particular thing. So medical writing is also very important domain in this clinical industry. Next. So clinical research is an integral part of the drug development, designing, conducting, monitoring, appropriate quality assurance, data management, and data determines the success of the clinical research. So at present, we have almost, we can see 15 to 16 domain in clinical research. Clinical research is like an umbrella for this particular domain. So within this umbrella, there are 15 to 16 departments where you have the opportunity to to start your career in this particular industry. And at the same time, you have a very good future also. If you are doing systematically consistent work with good quality and performance, you will get good opportunity in your career point of view. Next. Yeah, that's it. So this is overall, I think as per your understanding, it may be a bouncer for you, but at the same time, it is important to give you the more brief introduction on this particular point, so that at least when you are entering this industry, you must be know where you are entering and what way you have to follow, and at the same time, what is the challenges, and at the same time, which type of quality that need to be developed for this particular domain. Everything you have to be aware. So for that purpose, this is very important. Okay, that's it from my end. Anyone?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for your informative sessions, and it was a great session, and you showed the entire industry very well. And I understand we are just running short of time, but anyway, this is very informative webinar. So I would like to everyone from in the webinar to stay a bit long. We'll have a session from Mansi ji. She is expert in the pharmacovigilance, and then we'll have a Q&A session where we'll take your questions. And meanwhile, try to keep typing your questions so that we can take your questions, and we'll also take some questions from directly from you. So Mansi ji, please take charge of the session, and please guide the students or the prospective students about the career in the pharmacovigilance. Thank you. Over to you, Mansi.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, yes. So, as Mr. Rajesh Singh has already given you a brief introduction about myself, so I won't waste the time by introducing myself. So, we will go quickly through what is pharmacovigilance, and mostly it is very much interrelated with clinical trials and also those medicines which are there in the market. So, to understand pharmacovigilance, it's very compulsory, mandatory to know what is clinical trials, what are their phases, and where pharmacovigilance plays the role in it. So, please go to the next slide. Yeah. Now, here comes the definition of pharmacovigilance. It is the science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effect or any other medicine or vaccine related problem. All medicines and vaccines undergo rigorous testing for safety and efficacy through clinical trials before they are authorized for use. Now, here pharmacovigilance mostly we work on the side effects of the drug. We work on safety and efficacy of the drug. These are mostly used for those drugs which are in the clinical trial, and also for the devices and vaccines. Also, pharmacovigilance is applicable. So we'll go to the next slide. We'll go more in detail. Now, the scope of pharmacovigilance. There is adverse reporting, then there is signal detection, there is risk assessment, and then there is post-marketing surveillance. Now, in adverse reporting, I have mostly done this part on the adverse reporting part. Mostly we process the cases where the adverse event is reported and we get into the database and we process that into the safety database like Argus or ISG. So in adverse reporting, it is a primary. Someone is saying something, Ravi.
Please keep your mic switched off while the guest is speaking. We'll take your questions.
One of the primary responsibility of pharmacovigilance is the collection and analysis of adverse event report. Healthcare professional, patient, and pharmaceutical companies submit these reports when they suspect that a medication may have caused harm or an unexpected reaction. These reports are crucial for identifying potential safety issues. Now, again, see, adverse event reporting is both for healthcare professional and consumer. It can be reported by a legal professional as well, and also the company. So everyone plays a role in reporting. Then coming to the next is signal detection. Now, before going to signal detection, I would give you a brief about what is signal. Now, signal is a hazard, new hazard or a known hazard that is quantitatively or qualitatively different from existing expectation. Means this is not written into the labeling document. Now there is a document where mostly you see any product, the contraindications are written on the product which you purchase from the market. So this is something where signal is something which is not reported, and that means that will become a signal for us. So there is a team working on signal detection, and here the pharmacovigilance experts will use statistical and analytical tools to detect signals which are patterns or trends in adverse event reports that may indicate a previously unrecognized safety concern. Identifying signals helps prioritize further investigation. Now, once the signal is detected, the next step is the risk assessment. Once a potential safety concern is identified, pharmacovigilance professionals conduct in-depth assessments to determine the risk-benefit profile of a medication. Now, risk-benefit in clinical trial as well as in pharmacovigilance, the benefit should always outweigh the risk. It should not happen that the medicine is very risky and is less effective. It should be effective more. Then coming to the next is the post-marketing surveillance. Medications undergo rigorous testings in clinical trials before they are approved for use. However, pharmacovigilance continues after a drug's approval, monitoring its safety in real-world settings. This is vital because some adverse events may be rare or occur only after long-term use. Coming to the next slide. Now, this is the workflow of pharmacovigilance. Like we saw in the previous slide, that first there is reports, study reports. Second is aggregate reporting. For example, there will be PSUR, DSUR, PBER. All this you will go deeply once you enter the session. This is very deep knowledge over here. Then there is signal detection, and then there is a risk management. Next. Now, roles and responsibilities. There are many professionals in the pharmacovigilance. There are many domains within the pharmacovigilance department, one of which is regulatory authority. Now, regulatory, in that there is regulatory reviewer, policy and guidance developer, and inspectors. Regulatory reviewer will review and assess pharmacovigilance data submitted by pharma companies to make decisions about drug approval, labeling changes, or market withdrawal. Policy and guidance developer will create and update regulations, guidelines, and policies related to pharmacovigilance. Inspectors will conduct inspections of pharmaceutical company to ensure whether the company is in compliance with pharmacovigilance regulations. Next. Then role of pharmaceutical company. There are drug safety officer, medical writer, and safety data scientist. Drug safety officer will monitor and evaluate adverse event reports, conduct safety assessments, and communicate safety information to regulatory authorities. Regulatory authorities, mostly there are company specified, company based regulatory authorities, like you say there Japan has different regulatory bodies, Australia has TGA, Therapeutic Food Administration, Canada has Health Canada, and so on. Medical writers will communicate safety information. In the previous session only, sir told that medical writer has a very good scope in clinical trial industry. You have to have a good command over English language. So mostly, and you should also know the medical terminologies for this. So mostly here they will communicate safety information to regulatory authorities. They will prepare pharmacovigilance documents such as PSVA and risk evaluation and mitigation strategy documents. Safety data scientists will analyze safety data to identify potential safety signals and contribute to risk management plans. Next. Then there are pharmacovigilance manager. They will oversee the entire pharmacovigilance function within the company and will ensure whether it is in compliance with regulation and effective risk management. Next. Next slide. Okay. Now, healthcare profession. Healthcare professional, example, physician, nurses, pharmacist, reporting adverse events. Healthcare professional will play a crucial role in identifying and reporting adverse events associated with drugs to pharmacovigilance system or regulatory authorities. Here even it's like roles and responsibilities where like patients can also report adverse events. Like I already said in the previous slide that even patients play a role in reporting the adverse event. Next. Now pharmacovigilance service provider, for example, CROs. Case managers will collect, process, and report adverse event data to regulatory authorities. After case manager, the next is the medical reviewer. Now, mostly what happens whenever you get a case into the database, there are 4 or 5 teams working on one single case. 4 or 5 people are working on one single case. One is the case intake, who will triage the entire case. They will see the date. There is a timeline. They will also see within how many days the case needs to be submitted to the regulatory body. Then there is a data entry team. They will enter all the data of the case into the database. Then coming next after the data entry is the medical reviewer or a quality reviewer. This is very different matter. It depends on the project. So medical reviewer will mostly check the suspect drug and the event and the relation between the suspect drug and the event. So this medical reviewer will work on this domain only, and then coming to the quality, he will check the quality reviewer will check the entire case whether the quality reviewers first are called quality checkpoints are correct or not. And then there is internal QC done, which that is also another different matter where they will check the entire quality of the case, including from start to end, and the narrative writing as well. Now, we already spoke about case manager. They will collect, process, and report adverse event. Second will be medical reviewer. They will be assess adverse event report for medical causality and seriousness. Then there is database manager who will maintain pharmacovigilance database and ensure data accuracy. Then there is a quality assurance specialist who will ensure compliance with regulatory requirement and quality standards in pharmacovigilance operation. Next. Now these are audits and inspector. They are directly or indirectly involved in pharmacovigilance mostly. Like auditor, they will conduct internal audits to ensure companies' pharmacovigilance process are compliant with regulations. Then inspector will conduct external inspections on behalf of regulatory authority to assess a company's pharmacovigilance practices. Next. risk management specialist. Now, risk manager will develop and implement risk evaluation and mitigation strategies and risk management plans to mitigate known or potential risks associated with specific drugs. Next. Data analysts and statisticians. Data analysts will analyze pharmacovigilance data to detect safety signals and trends, whereas statisticians will apply statistical methods to assess the significance of adverse events and support risk management decisions. Next. Medical communication specialist. Medical information officers will respond to inquiries from healthcare professionals and patients regarding drug safety, adverse events, and product information. Next, benefit risk communication specialist. Your communication managers will develop and disseminate benefit risk evaluation to healthcare professionals, patients, and the public to support informed decision making. Next. Legal and regulatory affairs specialist. Regulatory affairs professional will ensure that the drug labeling and promotional materials comply with pharmacovigilance requirement. Legal counsel will provide legal advice on pharmacovigilance related issues and litigation. Next. Thank you. This was the let's say, brief introduction of pharmacovigilance, where it's very vast. It's very vast. You should always think out of the box when it comes to clinical trial pharmacovigilance. And I've played my role mostly in case processing. I've processed mostly all types of cases, be it clinical, non-clinical, spontaneous cases, literature cases. And I will conclude my session with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mansi ji, for your valuable insights about the industry. And now we will be opening up for the Q&A session. First of all, I'd like to inform all of the participants that we will not be taking the questions related to the course details or the admission process. Please, Jitendra, please show the contact details on the screen. You may note down the number, email ID. You can contact the admission department directly in the IICRS. And now we will be taking questions related to the webinar topics that we are discussing. So first, I'll take some questions from the chat box, and then we'll move on to speaking to you directly. Just you can take down the numbers, and also you can join the WhatsApp group. There you can discuss about the course and program details. So like I got one question, that is there any role of AI, artificial intelligence, in clinical trial industry? So yes, presently there might be very less use, but I'd like to ask Gurudat ji to throw some light on this. So it's like, is there any role in the coming future for the AI in the trial industry? Am I audible, Gurudat ji?
Yes, Rakesh. Technology is a very great, what we say, revolution, not only but in clinical research also. We are type of technological revolution, and at present in operations also, this type of new tools and supports we are taking for this particular clinical trial, and upcoming days AI will for this industry, and we have some training sessions also based on the AI. So in future point of view, it is a very helpful, and those who are having a very good technological sense, they can also use this particular domain also.
Okay, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
there's one more question. Which one is better, pharmacovigilance or medical coding? So I'd like you to answer the question.
Yeah. Sorry.
Your voice is breaking, sir. So might be some.
But if you are fluent in English, especially those who have
Actually, your
clear-
voice got broke. So just can you just come again?
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly.
Sure. So actually, medical writing is especially for the professional who has having a very good knowledge and experience and exposure for the medical point of view, and those who are having a very high level of English knowledge also. So for that purpose, medical writing is a very good option as a career point of view. But those who have good medical background like a BMS, BHMS, MBBS or a BPharm or MPharm, pharmacovigilance is a very good option for them. But at the same time, it is also very tough for the daily activity point of view or career point of view. Those for because previously it is a I don't know what is the current situation, but previously when I was working in the PV department, that time we have to clear almost 8 to 10 cases per day. So but because now there are so many softwares and tools are available, so it will be very easy for those people who can handle this particular what is the burden of this particular activity, because there is a very huge load, especially the adverse events cases are there. So that is a good option, but only for the medical background person can enter in this particular industry now. Rest all BSc, MSc or any other courses they have taken, life science courses, from them better you can choose apart from the medical writing and the pharmacovigilance. There are other domains also available.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a next question for Nirav ji. It is the question from Sambhaji. The CDISC compliance requirement for clinical database for regulatory requirement. So this, I think he's asking about what is the requirement of CDISC compliance for the regulatory clinical database.
So in clinical science, you need to.
Your voice is a bit low, Nirav ji. Just can you be a bit louder?
Hello, can you hear me?
No, it's a bit low actually. I think.
Hello.
Yeah, now audible.
Yeah. So actually, CDISC is a regulatory body that we need to follow the particular guideline for submission of data into the clinical research. So yes, we follow the CDISC guideline. So which may include your STTM, ADAP, patent, and so. So we follow the CDISC for submission of data to the health authorities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you. There is a one question in the clinical research industry. There is only documentation work or data work or any lab work also. So Gurudat ji, will you answer this question?
Yeah, Rajesh ji, what is the question?
The question is, in the clinical research industry, there is only documentation work or data work or any lab work also, laboratory work also.
Lab work is not there. If any biotechnological company is there, then they have the lab work. But especially the data analytics is the main part in this industry. And documentation is also online documentation, not a hard copy documentation. Nowadays, everything is going on online level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So this was the most of the questions regarding the topic. We have more questions about the eligibility criteria, about the process of getting into industry. So you can discuss with the team, or if you want me to answer the question, we can have a separate session. You can get it coordinated with the IICRS team. I can guide you on what are the eligibility criteria and everything. So now there is one question is there any role of bioinformatician in clinical research? So Nirav ji, will you answer this?
Can you repeat the question, Rajesh?
Yeah, sir, it is written that is there any role of bioinformatician in clinical research?
Bioinformatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, bioinformatics person can go into the clinical science industry. That is no issue, because I have seen some of my colleagues, they have done bioinformatics, and yeah, it will be very useful for them. Because in clinical science industry, apart from this, science, we need to know about some basic understanding about the clinical research as well. So if the person is from bioinformatics team, then he might be knowledge about the clinical background and other software. So yeah, it will be beneficial for him.
Okay. So then the next question is from our from Mansi ji. That the question is there any future scope in pharmacovigilance?
Yes, there is a future scope. Now, I would say there is upgraded future scope, let's say AI in pharmacovigilance, but there is because till their clinical trials is going on, there will be a new disease in the market, there will be new medicines in the market. So we will obviously need to report that one event into the database. So yes, there is a scope.
Okay, there is one more question from you again. What is the difference between drug safety associate and case processor?
Not much difference. There is no difference actually. Mostly there is like if you are aligned to BPO, business process outsourcing company, so the company will call you a case processing specialist, and the project which you are assigned, they will tell you drug safety processor. So there is no much difference. There is the same almost. Drug safety associate.
Okay. Okay. So now you can raise your hands. I think I have got all the questions, major questions answered. So just raise your hand so that we can take some questions. Just a moment. I am taking that. So Jayashri is the one. Jayashri, please unmute yourself and ask your question one by one. Once I'll take the name, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Then you can mute yourself. Yeah, Jayashri, please ask the question. Jayashree, am I audible? The next is Jagdish Patel. Jagdish, unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Please, yeah, Jagdish, please ask.
Sir, many companies are converting SaaS to R and Python. There is need to learn R and Python to get a job as a fresher because the market is very stuck. There is no
Yes.
opening for a SaaS freshers.
No. Currently, the market is of SaaS only. Yeah, you are right. In future, there might become R or Python, but SaaS will be definitely there in future as well, because nowadays the industry is starting to submit the data using R as well. But in industry we do the double program. One is called development, and second is called validation. So suppose so on one side SaaS will be definitely there, but yeah, in future in other side we may use the R, but it is not using in full fledged right now. So yeah, people are slowly moving towards R, but not now. But yeah, SaaS will be definitely there in future as well.
Okay, thank you, Nirav ji. So next is Mangesh Selke.
Hello, sir.
Hi, please ask the question.
My question is how much AI will impact jobs like of CDM or farm?
We are not audible, Mangesh, properly, I think. What I understood that how much AI will impact CDM and pharmacovigilance.
CDM we deal with.
Okay. See,
Yes.
we are looking at a very different angle to the AI. Sometimes I get questions from the candidates that will it replace the job, or it will not be affecting the jobs in the clinical research industry. But obviously, it will impact, but not replacing the people. It's a very regulated industry, and a lot of logical thinking is required. So AI is coming to help you people. The people who are equipped with AI will have an edge in the industry. I'll just go back in the history that when the computer came, there was a rumor that it will replace humans and a lot of job will go, but it didn't happen. The people got more jobs. Similarly, when the AI will come into the domain, the people will be more creative. They will be involved in more serious responsibilities. But again, you need to have this tool with you. Need to have knowledge of this tool so that your work can be processed speedily. So AI will help. AI will be in the industry in coming next 5 to 10 years. In coming 5 years, we'll see a lot of changes because the world is evolving and the industry is putting a lot of money in the development of the artificial intelligence. Yeah. So next
Okay,
is
thank you, sir.
yeah. Thank you so much. The next is Hind. Hindvi, I think the name is HAIND.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Rajesh. Good
Hi.
morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Like I have a doubt. Like with 4 years of experience in PV,
Mhm.
can move to clinical research with same package, or which company will you suggest? Like which role and which company?
Okay. Okay. I'll ask Gurudaji to answer this question.
Yes, yes. I also work 5 year in PV department, and because that time this department is open for everyone, not just for the medical person. But I think in 2014-15 they have introduced the new rule that only medical person who has having the medical knowledge like a B Farm, M Farm, BMS, BHMS, they can stay in the they can work in PV department. So that time I changed my domain from PV to operation. So it depends which company you are, which company is hiring to you. So if they think that your medical knowledge is good as per as your exposure in this particular PV department also very good, then they will keep you on the same package, or they can give up to I think 10 to 20% hike also. So that time, because I started my career as a CRC, so I have some clinical research basic background also. So that time they have given me almost 20% hike when I joined this operations. That one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. The
Yeah.
next is Almin R. Almin, are you able to listen to me? Shahaji Padampalli.
Hello.
Almin, yeah, Almin, yes, carry on.
Yeah. I hope.
Shahaji, I'll come to you later on. Just Almin, first let the Almin ask the question.
There are various domains in clinical research like clinical data management, clinical SAS, and pharmacovigilance. And these are different parts which belongs to the same system.
Your voice is echoing a lot. So I'm not able to grab what you're asking. Switch off the speaker, I think, if you're on the speaker. Okay, meanwhile, I think there's some error. Meanwhile, Anshu Rathore, you can ask your question.
Hello. Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Anshu, yeah, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Sir, my question is from Nirav, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, I am a B Farm graduate and I want to join in a SS program. So it is good for me.
Yeah, definitely.
But sir, I have not a knowledge about the coding. I have not a lot of.
Even
Okay, sir.
I was not aware about it, but I learned it and I moved into this industry. By education, I am MPharm only from pharmacy.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. But I learned
Thank you,
it.
sir.
I did the certification and now I'm in the SAS industry.
Sir, in clinical research industry, B Farm is sufficient or M Farm is okay?
There is not much difference now, but what I will suggest after a BPharm, no need to go for MPharm. Better you do some other skill and go for the industry. That I will suggest you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so thank you.
No
Hello.
And the next
Hello.
is Haji.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Haji.
Sir, my question is clinical SAS is for the BPharm students or not, sir? Because I took that course, but I didn't got job, sir.
See, again, this is a question.
Because my friends are told me to MPharmacy or PharmaD means post graduation is required for the clinical SAS.
No, this is misinformation.
Like
yeah, please, Neeraj, yeah, please answer.
Yeah. Even I have some friends who are BPharm only. They are in SAS industry.
But
So
sir,
have you done certification? Global certification?
Sir, I completed my BPharmacy also and one took course also.
No. Have you done the global certification of SAS? Have you given the exam?
No, sir. Global certification, not sir.
Yeah.
For
So if you
particular
have global
certification.
certification, then it will be easy for you to enter.
See, we'll come to that part. You can have a separate discussion because there is a lot of challenge with the training of models or modules. Also, what training you are getting, this is more important. Just getting a certification will not fetch you a job. You
Yes, sir.
have to
Knowledge.
have proper understanding of the topic, proper hands-on training of the topic. Right. So we'll discuss on these topics. You can contact the core team of the IICRS. So I can guide you separately, because this is a webinar with all our industry experts. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Please note down the number written here or join the WhatsApp group. We'll having a discussion separately. The next is the Sambhaji.
Hello.
Yeah, Sambhaji. Yeah.
Hi, dear all. Have a nice day. It's a
Thanks.
great session and it's a valuable. I would like to ask the question like, what are the core values and what are the basic requirements as a clinical research and regulatory affairs professional? Because I am working since from 10 years in the core clinical research. I have started my career from clinical research coordinator to clinical research scientist, then uh, handling the projects for the Google Health. That's writing the clinical research protocol, writing the investigator voucher and all like that, all documents. My question is basically that what are the course value required after 10 years to grow into the clinical research and regulatory affairs professional career?
Okay. So Gurudev, will you answer this question?
Yeah. Yes. Because somebody, you already have a good experience. Your background is also very strong. So I don't think this is a this type of question for you. But yeah, okay, you have asked this. So as we discussed that we have some soft skill and hard skill. So already you know what everything basic of that one. So yes. So now, for example, I can just as an example, I told you that, for example, Sachin when joined the cricket, that time he's a very young, he's a fresher. But when he is at his peak, like a 32 or 34 year, that time he is doing two type of role. He is doing a mentoring role for the new joinee, and at the same time he is supporting the captaincy also. He was also captain, but he's not as a successful captain as compared to the other captain. But as a captain, because of his experience and his talent, he guided the captain also. But at the same time, he's doing the mentoring for the new joinee. So for the your point of view, I say you can become a good mentor for the new joinee, and for that purpose, you require some good soft skill. As whatever you have to develop to the next level also, like a presentation, your
Yes,
communication.
what I am doing currently right now is
Yeah.
that I am giving the training sessions at Pune, Mumbai, then Aurangabad, and also providing the consulting services, one of the UK-based organization. And
Good.
I am looking for the role of consulting into the clinical and regulatory part. That for that purpose, what are the skills required for
Yeah.
as a consultant?
So yes. So based on your journey, whatever your overall experience and whatever the development was happened in that particular journey, so you can analyze whatever the changes that you have observed in this particular journey, and based on that, you can give the guidance to the new joinee how to, if in future they are facing such type of issues or any problem that you have faced during your career point of view and that particular time. So you can guide them to the new joinee as per that. Like you can join any institute or any particular this one as a trainer, as a lecturer, or whatever role that you want. And at the same time, when you are in your own company, you can become a part of the training team also, or you can guide as a mentor also, as a subject matter expert also, you can guide the new joinee in that way.
Could you suggest any connections, any contacts on LinkedIn which may help me?
Samaji, we can discuss it later on, because this is a public domain. And
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
We can connect sometimes directly, no issues.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, most welcome, most welcome. So our next question is Mahima Saraf. I think this is the last question that we are taking. Mahima,
hello, good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon.
Sir, like you have said, we must have that much knowledge for the post we applying for. But sir, as a fresher, we have to read everything. Like we read about pharmacovigilance, we read about clinical trial management, clinical data management. So how can we confirm like we have to go in for that position or not? It's very confusing and it's very
yes,
difficult.
yes, Mahima,
Difficult to get a interview call, sir.
Okay.
So,
I'd like to answer this question. The first, you have to be clear about your goal. Like you talked about clinical research or the pharmacovigilance or the clinical data management. All three are different vertical. I mean, you cannot work in all the verticals simultaneously. So first, you need to have a counseling from some senior. Like you can connect to me directly. You have my number, or join the chat group. I'll share my details. You can connect me directly. You have to get an understanding that where you want to grow. Like if you want to join the clinical research domain, or the drug safety pharmacovigilance domain, or the SAS, or the clinical data management. So for that, you have to prepare especially for that domain. And you should not go for all the courses. I never advise that go for multiple programs or multiple courses. There might be some people are offering, but this is not ethical. So you should be focused towards single domain, and you should excel. You should grab the entire knowledge and then expertise, and then you should excel in that domain only. Fine. And later on, once you grow in the domain, you can plan to switch the particular process or the domain. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Mahima.
But sir, being a fresher, like we thought that we want a job anyhow.
No,
So,
this is the mistake. This is the mistake that
Yeah.
maximum people does. The maximum
Yeah,
people does. They apply anywhere. But see, just one example I am telling you. India is producing at least 5 lakhs B Pharm per year. Fine.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Pharmacy, and calculating all the Master of Pharmacy and the doctors and the other licenses graduates is more than 10 lakhs candidates per year. And how much is the job opportunity? Is very less compared to the people who are passing out. So why industry will hire you?
yes,
Hello.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So why the industry will hire you? Because industry has a lot of talent pool with the specialized trained in that particular domain. So get yourself trained from anywhere. Get yourself properly trained as per the job role, the softwares, the hands-on training, and then the industry will hire. Their hiring are going on. There is no dearth of job, but for the trained people only. It's not for everyone. Because see, even if you have to hire somebody, you will look for the special quality that you are requiring. You are looking
Yes,
for.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But when we a fresher, when focused that one job, that for one position, that I think it is very less that
Mahima,
we get a chance there.
what we can do, Jitendra, please share the number. Take down the number. You can connect with me directly. Connecting with the team, I can answer your queries because this is a public platform, and I think it will be a very long discussion how to get into the domain. So you can share your number with them, and I'll connect you directly and will guide you how to do that. So I think we are all done with the maximum questions. If you have any, because we are running short of time, all the experts are busy with their schedules, and we cannot hold them for very long. So please do one thing, just in the WhatsApp group, type your questions, and we will answer all your questions. You will get all the recordings of the sessions, all the PPTs that you have seen right now. And if any questions you have, you can write in that WhatsApp group. We will try to forward the question to the expert, and you will get the answer within a short time. So I'd like to thank all the guests that you have taken your precious time and supported the candidates, guided them very well. And also like to thank all of you to be part of this webinar, and like to thank Kirti, Abhay, and Jitendra for coordinating the entire webinar from the IICRS. And very soon we'll meet soon again. And till then, enjoy your life and enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much for your time.